let's be honest here, guys. We're not gonna drop the anime. I was like, I'm gonna drop this anime. It's not fun enough. You're like, no, this anime, whatever, it's just blood. But then we saw these two cuties, and I'm like, okay, you know what? I'm gonna watch this anime now. Yeah, there's some kind of trans cat kids in there. I'm guessing right that they both got peepees, right? Yeah. So one of them is a pink-haired babe, right, with massive op-eyes. You can see it here, but she got big op-eyes, right? And the other one is a blonde that looks very feminine too. But I think they're both gonna have both the ends. They're both a foot or something. Something weird. They're both like some kind of Futanari, siren, plant ladies or whatever. Yeah, they're both probably like... It's a funny thing though that, you know, plants have two genders. Yeah, plants actually have two genders, right? Because a flower usually has both the pistil and whatever the old thing is called. And they both release, you know, pollen and so on, right? And then they also take it in, right? So they have two genders, yeah. So this is probably what they are. They look like they're plant ladies, right? Yeah. So they're probably like two flower monster ladies or whatever. So they probably have both genders. But I think so. That's my guess last week. They're both gonna have peepees, right? But let's not watch it. But I will admit this anime. I mean, it's pretty good, but it's up and down. Yeah, this looks interesting. I'm like, this is the peak anime. So 3, 2, 1, and go. But you know, now I'm all interested. After it's called Zelda, and those, yeah, and the brothers are like, what's happening? Yeah, they're walking in and it's like. Waifu is still like they're very beautiful. And now they actually have oppas, another one too. Okay, they might have two now. No, I don't know, the blonde one looked flat in the last episode, but now she has oppas. But they probably both have penises though. He's like, let's fight them. Let's kill them fast before they sleep with us. There's something weird with them. Yeah. Kawaii. This is probably getting hard, man. I would love these two brothers get awed by these plant ladies. That'd be awesome. Peak anime, man. Peak anime. if they both get up there, yeah. Okay, now her oppa's turning into... See, now it's turned manly, exactly. Now she's turned into a man, right? Exactly, I told you that she had a penis. I told you, I knew it's a futa, man. I freaking knew it, man. I know my anime. That clearly was, yeah. And then, okay, so now her roots turned into plexus. That, yeah. I told you, man. I know my anime. Yeah. Suddenly she turned into a man instead. Exactly. I freaking knew it, man. Futanari. Oh, no, the flower girl, maybe. No, but now it's peak anime. But I freaking knew it when I saw her flexing. I was like, wait, wasn't she flat this episode? And she stands up and she gets big titties. And she's like, and she gets the breast turned into like, you know, muscular pecs instead. You're like, yeah, okay. Of course. Yeah, opening now here. I freaking knew it, man. Yeah, I know my anime. I know my anime. I knew she had a penis. Yeah. She's in the opening though. They are both there. That is true. It looks like a man. Yeah, They do appear in the opening, those two ladies, and, well, the blonde guy looks more like a guy in the opening. Yeah, he looks more like a man in the opening. I knew she had a penis, man. I think you know my anime. But this anime is so weird. I would love it if they end up as they end up getting smashed by them or something. Yeah, they tie them up with their trees or something stupid like that. Yeah, I mean they're probably trees, right? I said before I started watching the episode. Yeah, plants have two genders or whatever, right? So they could definitely. Yeah, forgot my freaking protein shake. I put it in next to me. Jesus Christ, man! I don't like drinking on stream or whatever. I never liked that. Yeah, never liked eating on stream as well. Oh. Opening over. Yeah. Oh, I also got both side tree. Yeah, so now they're trees, right? Now probably the enemies are all based on trees, I feel. Like those two ladies or whatever they are, like gender bender, right? Yeah. This thing is like a living tree golem of sorts, whatever. He seems kind of like whatever, yeah. I'll talk about you guys later. Bastard! Yeah. You can leave it like I was never, right? Yeah. You can fight by yourself, yeah. You guys can own the golem, right? Yeah, whatever. You don't need that. Yeah, exactly. Come on, Ninja Chic. You can be that golem. You don't even look that powerful, yeah. Yeah, why is he taking his glasses for? Man, she's not a troll, man. She's a goddamn troll. Oh yeah, okay. She has sweat powers! What? What's her power? What's her power? Her power is like itchy? What's her power? She's like, if I drink some water, I'll sweat and I get stronger. What? Why did they cut away from that? I want to see, okay, now they go narrate though. Now this is narrative when they're jumping in the trees now. But this woman looks like the other woman, right? She looks a lot like the pink haired, the Sakura hair, yeah. She looks a lot like the woman in the tree, right? So. No, of course it's a kid. That looks like the other woman. She's probably like a. She can probably change her size or whatever. Yeah, she's probably like a. She's probably got some weird plant power. She can turn tiny or something. Clearly isn't a child. Now she's gonna fist her. You're gonna punch her with some weird, yeah, holy punch there. Yeah, she got some weird, like, magical punch power. But she might be the daughter of those two we saw earlier. She was a lot like the pink-haired lady, right? Yeah, the wife in the first minute. She could be the daughter. Why not, right? You know, it's a kind of weird hybrid plant humans, right? So they could have a kid, I guess. Yeah, they could be her mom, right? Her mom and dad. But all that being said, right? Yeah, I think that this kid is in the opening, so she might not be a bad person. No, she might be an ally, right? She might be like a nice plant lady. Maybe. I mean, it would be more interesting if it would be more interesting if some of the tree people. Okay, so he ties her up with like some vines. But it would be interesting. I mean, if some of the tree, whatever monster girls, whatever, were actually nice, right? Yeah, she might actually be like a nice person. That would be. I don't want every of all these freak monsters to be mean, right? The other two though, with the bros, they're probably evil though. She's gonna cry now. It's like, mommy. She's probably less a kid though, yeah, I guess. Okay, I'm gonna untie her. What? This gonna untie her anyway? You're like, okay, if you saw that about her. What? She's trying to kill you with some weird punch though. Yeah. Oh, the girl, yeah, what? She just tried to kill you with a freaking punch though. Ah, whatever. She's adorable, yeah, she's crying. Let me hug her, yeah, okay. And I guess she used her sweat power to beat the tree or something. Yeah, she was all like, oh, I'm sweating or something. Yeah, why did you cut away from that? She was like, oh, I'm getting all sweaty. It's like, is that her power? To like, I need some juice that's flowing, what? Her ninja power is powered up by sweat or something? Or liquids? I don't know. Oh, the tree can talk, of course. Oh, I reckon it's a voice. Who's the voice actor? Oh, I reckon that's the voice actor of the talking tree here. I mean, obviously, I recognize Yoshiro. yeah, this woman has a very famous voice actor. That's obvious. But this tree man, sounds familiar. Okay, so they just recruit him, I guess. Well, I mean, he's gonna carry the flower lady, right? It's like I guess she's like the princess, probably of the trees or whatever. But it's probably her parents who are fighting, right? Yeah, it's probably her parents then. If she's like the tree princess and this guy's like a random tree soldier guy, so it's probably her mom and dad, right? Or her mom is or whatever, her dad is, whatever they are, those two. Yeah, those two are probably like her parents, but they can change gender, right? So, so maybe the blonde guy is maybe the blonde guy is the actual mom, right? You know, maybe the pink one is the one with with the young man. But this might be like an old Japanese village that's been transformed, I guess, by the magic on the island, right? Maybe they lived there before and then they all got turned into like plant people or whatever, right? I mean, they are looking for like some kind of magical stuff, right? So. Oh, so it's like a... What? She gets into like a spa? She's like, oh no, it's like a herb spa? What? That so weird. She's like, stupid tree. And then it's like, oh, she gets like some kind of nice hot spring. What? They got like a herb hot spring there? Yeah, okay. They got like a nice hot spring in this village. And she's all happy here carrying wood or whatever. What is this? Yeah, she's like, I don't care, the hot spring. Yeah, she's just like, oh, nice hot spring episode. That episode itchy, man. Oh yeah, there we go. Sagiri TV in the hot spring. Come on, girl, join me. She with her katana in the hot spring, like, I will fight you, woman. Yes, I love it. You're gonna bring your katana. Man, that episode itchy. This episode itchy, man. This is some weird itchy episode. Yeah, they're both in the hot spring now. After we saw those like Futanari tree people or whatever. Yeah. And now she's like getting into the katana next to her, like, okay. I can be in the hot spring, but I will kill you if you talk to me. It's like, what is this episode? I got a little lady, the princess. Oh, she got towels. Yeah, she's like a proper little innkeeper. Yeah, she's running this hot spring in, man. She's a hardcore innkeeper. She's like, hey, you want a little towel? What is this? She's like running this little inn here, man. She's like she's a very serious innkeeper. What? Maybe she's happy. Not many customers, you know, on this island. Yeah, this island, people get killed by weird Buddha statues. Doesn't have many customers. I think that's a pretty obvious thing, that an island where you get eaten alive if you enter it, or I guess like most of the time you get hit by like a bug and it turns into like a monster or whatever. But it makes sense thinking about the first person they found, right? He was like turned into half tree flowers, right? So, sure, this island is a lot about, you know, the tree-powered flowers and plants and whatever, right? So it makes sense that this, you know, if those two earlier are some kind of, you know, tree people, right? And he's like a tree guy and so on, yeah. I guess a lot of people, maybe you get bitten by the insects and you don't die from it if you survive becoming a plant. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like this tree golem guy, right? He might be like the first people that were on an island. But if he survived turning into that flower, then he, for some reason, then you become like a tree golem, a Trent, right? Probably, yeah. Because the first guy, right, that died, he was like, just died from the flowers, but that's gonna try to explain his backstory now. Of course he doesn't have memory. Of course he's like, oh, I don't remember how I turned into a tree. Yeah. Of course he's just basically like, oh, I kinda know what happened. The classic anime, you just can't tell them, oh, I was this thing. He doesn't have perfect, of course, memories or whatever, perfect info. He only knows some stuff. The etch in the bathroom, it added nothing, I like it. It's very anime. I don't think it added like nothing when they were chilling out together in the spa. Yeah, it added nothing apparently. It was just like a cute sex scene, yeah. It was just like, oh yeah, look at my tatas. Yeah, I don't know. It was just weird. I like how he basically draws a tree now, yeah, because trees have this ring strike. He basically draws like he's like drawing the island as a big tree. Maybe the whole island is a living tree then. Maybe the whole island is like that. Because he basically mapped out a tree for them. And that probably isn't an accident. I immediately thought about, you know, how a tree has this ring stripe, because you can count on all the trees if you open up a tree, right? And he kind of drew that. So maybe that's how the island works. Maybe the island grows like a tree, so it grows in like epicentric rings to that. You know, we can start this right, and it goes up like that. Now here we go. So this guy probably dead, of course. No, I mean these waifus are probably super. Yeah, they're gonna regrow, of course. Cause they're like living tree. I mean, I told you guys I'm living tree. They're obviously tree late. I told you. I figured you call it. He's obviously like a tree god. Yeah, it was obvious. You knew it, man. Yeah, he's like a living tree god. That was obvious. That was obvious. He's like a living plant god. That's why he can change gender. Because plants have two genders. Yeah, I knew it. Freaking call it. Yeah, Tensei Sama. I knew he breaks the. Freaking call it, man. Yeah. Goes to their footas because they're trees. Yeah. That's a typical thing that in the hand stuff is so too, right? If you have some kind of plant lady, they usually have a PP, right? Because, you know, they have two genders, man. Kinda lame off screen in this fight, though. I kinda wanna see them. Yeah, they're both gonna get killed, right? I kinda wanna see them fight. Yeah. A little lame, though. He's obviously built up as this, like, super genius god, gender guy that can. Yeah, he's obviously, like, this super tree god, but. Kinda lame, they're off screen and he's beaten them. Yeah, we understand of course he's the god of the island or whatever, right? But he's the tree boss, but yeah. He must be a lot of not Uriel, that's his brother, right? Street Fighter, Uriel, whatever his name is. And he throws him down in a hole. Yeah, he throws him down into like the plant transformation hole or whatever. Yeah, he just like feeds the plants with their bodies. Yeah, and then they turn into the plant things. Yeah, and then they all become exactly. So you're gonna say that, right? He probably throws them down, and everyone just becomes that huge plant thing, right? Yeah, they all become this like plant corp thingy. Oh yeah, because they're grabbed by his exactly by the tendrils. But he must be alive though. His brother has this insane survivability. Yeah, he's still alive somehow. This is interesting though, because he's used to fighting these nobodies, right? The god guy. So now that's interesting. Okay, it's interesting. They're probably gonna survive it. Yeah, he's used to fighting these like nobodies, right? Oh, random human god, right? And throws them down in the hole. But these guys are like super powerful, so he's gonna like get up again and be like, okay, let's go. Yeah, he's probably those two guys are probably just gonna be able to fight the way through the hole, right? Probably won't get killed by those tendrils, by those like whites or whatever. But yeah, she's probably the daughter, right, of the two gods, right? Yeah, she's probably the daughter, right? Well, I think it'd be, yeah, I don't think that the two bros are out of it. No, I don't know, because we see them earlier do some weird shit, right? It feels more like the, tension somehow, whatever his name was, how it's pronounced. I guess he's like, he's just really OP, right? We start losing an arm, whatever, he regrows it up, it's like a living tree guy. Yeah, he's clearly like super god, he's like a Tree God Futanari guy, right? He probably used like, whatever, right? So he's like, humans, it's throwing them down there, right? So these guys are probably gonna somehow survive that and climb up of that weird like tree hole thing that he's created, yeah, where he throws down humans to feed the trees or whatever, yeah, it's probably gonna be like whatever, at least. But yeah, he's probably too used to be OP, right? Like a Tree God guy, so, But disappointed though that they still kinda cut away from his fight though. But maybe isn't that strong though, or maybe not. Let's have a look at it, because he did lose his body parts against them, right? So maybe he's strong. They can heal. Maybe that's it. Maybe he's strong because his self healing is so high that it's just like whatever, right? Oh, now it's with the girl, he said in the bat. She probably also has some PP or something stupid. Why this? I'm starting to cry, of course. Yeah. Why did he just gonna give her his cloak, I guess? Yeah, get away, you perv, yeah. I'm just trying to give her my clothing. Yeah, it's like, I don't know what's happening. Sagiri turned into her mom now, yeah. Sagiri's become her mommy. He got a lot of course, scars, right? Yeah. And everyone's backstory is anime. Everyone's like freaking damaged, man. They all got so much damage. Oh, she got like a huge scar too, actually. Oh, interesting. Yeah, maybe that's why she's hiding then. She's ashamed of the scar. She also got like a huge scar on her shoulder to her back, half her. Maybe she likes him now then because it's similar. Yeah, I think she's gonna like him now because like, oh, he got big scars too. Yeah. Okay, she made her like a cute little like a bikini. No, we call it like a. I like how she takes it very seriously. It's like a very mom mode. She's like, hey, I made her a little cute skirt or whatever. Yeah, she's like. She's made her a little cute. I don't know what to call it, but like some kind of weird. She took the towel and I don't know what she did. Like, did she tailor that? No, she turned it into mom mode. Yeah, she made it like a cute little clothing. Yeah, she made it like a cute little. I don't know, not like a kata, but no, but something like some kind of a little cute, dress or something. Yeah. And there's just like makeup, I guess. She's gonna give her some weird like little. Yeah, she's gonna make shampoo or something. It must be Timothy! Yeah, she's gonna be like, shampoo time, lady! Now she's gonna. What is this? Why is our Sagiri is like turning into her mom? Yeah, she gives us a kind of cleaning for her hair and everything. What's happening? The whole Sagiri episode is her like, oh, let me show you how to use this like specific chemicals to create like shampoo or something. Yeah, like I'm gonna brush her hair or so. Yeah, she's like, I'm gonna make you all pretty. Yeah, like, what is this? Not gonna do with him, I guess, as well, right? because why not? Yeah, I guess she's gonna help him too. Oh no, it's like a flashback of his wife, of course. Of course, his wife. To no surprise, of course, his wife was always like cleaning up whatever. Yeah, he's like a brutal fighting guy, right? Of course, his wife was there, and it reminds me of my own wife. This is how my wife is too. You know, you come home there, you got all the bruises, and it's like, yeah, let me help you with that. Yeah, you got some scars. Your wife. That's why, you know, it's cool when men have scars, right? Because then your wife can be all like, oh, let me help them with you, you know. Like, I got a lot of scars, you know, my back and so on. Yeah, of course, like, I got a scar here, you know. You can't see that with my beard, right? But I got like a Glasgow smile here. I got a scar here, a bigger scar, and I got a scar here. My eyes are different because I got a huge. You maybe see it, right? I got like a. I used to have a big scar here, you know, and I broke my eyelid. Could hit in the face with that, you know. Then I got a bunch of scars, you know. But seriously, the whole like this whole like stereotype that women like men with scars. Yeah, come on, it is true. It's saying like this, because then you ladies like, oh, let me help you with that thing. Let me wash. Yeah, you're like, yeah. You can sit there and be like, yeah. This is exactly how it is. This is very relatable to me. This is very relatable. This in here with his wife, and she's all like taking care of his. Like, oh yes, let me clean your wound. Like, yeah, this is something. This is very realistic. This is exactly how it is. You find you a nice lady and she takes... Yeah. And she's all like, let me help you with this thing. Oh, come on, honey, you're so cute. Yeah. This is very relatable. This is exactly how it is in reality. Okay? I've been exactly here. But yeah, of course this scene with Sagiri helping the girl reminds me of his wife, right, you know. Arra, yeah, she's all like, arra, honey bun. Arra. Oh god, now she's all happy here. She's all like, oh, you're so nice to me. It's like, you're the perfect waifu. You're so nice, you're so cuddly. God, yeah. Now she's all happy here. He's like, oh, you're so nice to me. Yeah, exactly. It's all happy, arigato. Yeah, it's all happy and smiling and so on, yeah. But yeah, Sakurai's all happy now. Oh, she gave her that double... that Shanli's hair. Yeah, whatever. What's that called? We have those two... No, not like Layla, but kinda, yeah, a little bit. But it's more like Shanli, right? You got the double bun hair thing going on. Yeah, I know what that's called. What's it called? Double bun? It's not like pigtails, no. Because pigtails are... No, she got like Shanli. Yeah, she got like Shanli hairstyle. What is that called? Seriously. After the episode is ending, I'm gonna have to Google it. What's it called? Shanli's hairstyle. I don't know what it is called. But yeah, since she likes him now because they both have scars, they're like scar bros. They're like, yeah, I'm also got scars. Yeah, they're like, yeah, you're like me. That's cool. Come on, they're both like, we're like scar bros, you and me. She's like, you and me. Yeah, we both the same, right? We both the same. Come on. Now he's all awkward here. He's like, my girl now, my daughter now. But she's probably the child of, yeah, some weird combination of the tree gods. Well, I mean, he did mention it. I mean, yeah. Talking tree god did mention it, of course. He kind of explained it, kinda, but he didn't explain it perfectly. But yeah, I mean, I guess they're both gonna have penises, right? I guessed it correctly. I know my anime. I kind of guessed correctly. They're both gonna have peepees. But what is that called? It's kind of like. Let's Google it, guys. Yeah, with a double hair bun, right? Ox horns. That's it called in English. Never heard it before. Has to have a better ox horn. Has to probably have a better name for it in Chinese or whatever, but Odango hair. That's what it goes. No, that's like a trope or something. Because you got like a bun, right? Odango, ox horn, or Odango. That's what it's called here when I Google it. Odango hair. Hanfu. Chinese traditional ox horn. That's what it's called, ox horn hairstyle in English. But what's it called in Chinese? Or what's it called in like the proper... Yeah, the double bun. Odango. Pigtails, what's it called? That's Japanese for it, Odango. Come here. Oh, here we go. Here's the Chinese name for it. Niyaitu. I'm gonna butcher this name. Okay, but I got the correct term for it. Okay, in Japanese, this is called Odango. When you have the double pigtail with the little like Shanli hairs and the girl in the anime. She got Odango hair. I was like, what it's called, right? So now she got Odango hair, right? Yeah, Odango hair. But in Chinese, my Mandarin is not that good, guys, okay? My Mandarin is good. But in Mandarin, it's called Niuaitu. I can't even do it. Niaitu? I can't read it. Niai. It's very hard. I always say this thing, it's very hard to speak Mandarin as a Swede, it's my excuse. But it really is, right? Because Mandarin as a language is very like, you speak in different accent, right? You have to have the same height. And I'm reading the Chinese here, and they got like 4 different like height of your voice. So it has to be like ni, yu, yi, a, to. It go up, right? Ni, to. I think so. Ni, to. Something like that. Someone, they call like, I don't know, to, probably. Odango in Japanese, yeah, it's easier. Much harder in Chinese, because you have to really, in Mandarin, you have to like keep the same, you have to change, so it's like an accent down, right? It's like, yeah. And because another word might be like niaito, right? That's like one thing. But this thing is called like ni-ai-ai-to. It's pronounced different. They have to, go up and down in the syllabus. But I'm probably doing it wrong, because I've never seen the word before. Oxhorns. Yeah. But it's really hard to pronounce. And I always say the thing, honestly, right? As a Swede, it's very hard to pronounce, I think. I have one of my best friend, he's fluent in Mandarin. But he's very basic fluent in Mandarin, which he taught to himself as a kid and so on. And it's very hard, he even for him as a Swede, because Swedish, right? It's so singing, right? Swedish is very like, right? You hear me speak, that's kind of why you hear me speak, because, well, it's different than a reaction though. But I'm actually talking English off screen is way different. Honestly, it's very different when I work. But still though, right? As a natural Swede, right? We learn to just sing everything. Norwegian is the same. We learn to sing. Everything goes up and down, but Norwegian is higher pitched. So it's very like pitch language, right? It's very up and down. But Mandarin is very like, it's not up and down, it's straight, right, until certain accent is up and down, right, until you force it up and down. So some words in Mandarin, there is like niai, say that, niai, right, niai, same letter, but in Swedish, it's like niai, in Swedish, like, but for a national Swedish language, you wanna pronounce it like niai, yeah, you wanna do this like weird, singing voice, you wanna go up and down. I always blame that, but honestly, Swedish is very weird. And that's also one reason why Swedish sounds so weird. And people, like immigrants or whatever, right, when they learn Swedish, they sound so weird to Swedes, right? Like we don't buy it for a second, right? Because they speak it not like Swedish, they speak it like English or whatever. They speak it like, a normal language. Yeah, they speak it like, they read a Swedish word like hallå, right? And they speak like hallå. We're like, no, hallå eller? Yeah, for example, like where I'm from, right? Hallå eller, that's how it's spelled, hallå eller, but in a typical Swede, right, you would say hallå eller, yeah, you would go up and down, yeah, you can't say hallå eller. So an immigrant might say hallå eller, right, but as a Swede you'd be hallå eller and so on, yeah, you would say this weird things, right? It doesn't make sense. Anyway, I'm trying to find an image here when the god is not showing her eyes for the review part. Okay, there we go, let's look at the mommy mode, man. That is a friendly peak anime. Peak anime. Tree God Hybrid Futanaris. Let's review it. I like that I immediately was like, oh, she definitely got a penis, right? I immediately was like, I'm pretty sure that Tree God lady, she's gonna have a pee-pee. Yeah, I mean, I know my anime. I mean, like, well, that woman over there, she's gonna have a penis, yeah. I know my anime, man. I can see an anime and I'm immediately like, oh yeah, she definitely got a penis. But it doesn't make sense, right? But because they're like Futanaris, right? It makes sense. They're like straight up Futanaris. They're Tree God Futanaris, right? I said it earlier before I watched the episode. I guess correctly, and it makes sense to me because they felt very like gender, androgynous, right? Both of them immediately, and we saw the boobs grow in and out and all that stuff. But yeah, it makes sense that these 3 people can like change gender or whatever, right? Because like I said, earlier in the video, right, 3 people, right, 3 gods, they have they have both genders, right? So a tree, a flower or whatever, but if you look at a tree, actually every leaf, every kind of apple or whatever, right, is a flower, and then if you pollinate the flower, it becomes an apple, right? So like an apple tree's flowers, there's like 100 flowers, right, on an apple tree, part of the apple tree's body, each flower has both, you know, a male and a female body part to speak. Like, each flower itself, right? It's kind of fun thing about it too in that sense, right? Because we humans, right, or whatever, we mammals, we got like, you know, one gen, you know, we got like one, you know, like I mean, like one body part, right? That is part of that, like, okay, we have this thing, right? You know, of course, there are people that have both or whatever, but you know, most of us have like one, right? Yeah, some people have two. So yeah, there is people that have two. People have two peepees, right? Yeah. There are humans that have two peepees, and even three. I think I've seen some stuff like that. So yeah, all the stuff as well, right? And of course, you have people that are literally intersex, right? Where they have like XXY chromosome and XYX chromosome. Yeah, you can have 3XS and XYX, XYX, XXX. There's a difference there. Can you be that? I think you can be a couple of different combinations. You can't be XYY, I think. I remember I went to a study about this when I researched this many years ago. Okay, seriously, but I went to like a school. When I started for PhD, I met this doctor, PhD doctor. He was like an expert on interspecies people, and we had this discussion about like, okay, so people can definitely be XXX, right? 3Xs, definitely. You can be XXY. That would be more interesting, right? Because then you have like both male and female body parts and so on. But can you be XYY? So then you'd be like, there was something like that. You definitely can't be like YY, right? Because you need to have one X. So if you don't know how it works, I can say briefly here. Every human, right, has an X chromosome. You can't have two Y chromosomes, right? Women are XX, and then male are XY, right? And then, but you can also have XYY, or you can have XXX and so on. So you can have more than that, yeah. So you can have like, so for example, there are people that have like XXY, and then it means you probably have both genders, right? And these are called intersex, which is a real thing, which is like 1%, something like that, something like that. But there are differences then, right? So, because like I said, if you have XXY, that means you're a woman with a male body part, right? But if you're XYX, then you're a man with a female body part, which is different, right? Think about it in like a Futanari way, yeah. But I mean, literally, think about it in a Futanari way. Because if you're XXY, then I would imagine like a Futa, right? You're a woman with male body parts, right? But the other thing, you're a man with feminine body part. And I think that actually, yes, I think that matters a lot because it basically used like in hen stuff, but literally, right? One of these XXY, then you're mostly a woman, right, with male stuff, right? And the other one, you're mostly a man with female stuff. So it definitely matters because the kind of core body shape will define that, right? But you probably can't be like XYY. There would be like too many Ys. I think we discussed this, and I don't think anyone is alive that is XYY. I think that if you have XYY, which can happen, but then I think that the child will, I think there will be like a miscarriage. Something like that. I might be wrong on this thing, but I'm pretty sure on it, yeah, that you can't give birth to that. It's another thing too with color blindness, for example, right? Color blindness, because color blindness is, the two different color blindness. But color blindness is usually the basic one, you know, the normal one, the common one, a red-green, which is the most common one. You have blue, yellow too. But the common one, that is on the X chromosome. So a woman, the average woman won't have color blindness, like red and green, because they have two X chromosomes. So even if one of them has color blindness, the other one won't have it, right? Where a man then can have that because a man, of course, has XY. And so it also means that it's always a mom, right, that you can inherit color blindness from. So if your dad has color blindness, it doesn't matter, right? Because a father will give his X or his Y, but if he gives, so he can't make you colorblind. No, I don't know. He can if the wife also is very. Yeah, okay. No, not really, because if you're a daughter of a man with color blindness, you can't get color blindness from him because even if he gives you his X, your mom gets your X. Your mom also needs to be colorblind. So this is a really weird thing, but your mom can't be colorblind because she's a woman. So what happens then if you have double X colorblindness? I think almost usually the it's like less than one has that because usually then it's like a miscarriage, something like that. But then you have like two X chromosome, blah blah blah, and it causes like issues for your body. So it's very hard to survive childbirth. I think if you have that. So basically, every person with red-green color blindness are men, because if you're a woman with color blindness, you will just have you carry it, right? But you don't actually have it. Like you have it in recessive genes, so it doesn't actually affect you. But your child can have it, right? But if you have double X color blindness as a woman, you will probably won't survive. Because you have other weird issues then. Something like that. You can breathe. It can turn into other issues. But I think that he said that there are women that have it, but they are like less than 1% of people have it. And it's incredibly rare because it's so hard for the fetus to actually like survive. So it's like that's the reason why I think. But anyway, long spin off in this thing. No, but I think it's interesting because a plant, right? A plant actually has then several genders at the same time, right? A normal tree, right, like an apple tree, it actually has like 500 peeps, right? Think about it. It's kind of weird, but it actually has, because a tree can have, can produce like 500 apples, right? And every apple, before it's an apple, it's a flower, right? But every flower is basically like the sex organ of a tree, right? So they, instead of having like we humans, they have like, like I said, we have like 1 or 2 sex organs. We have like, kind of a limitation to maybe like 2, right? Maybe we have 3, but usually we have 2, you know what I mean? We have the limitation, but the tree has like 500, right? The tree is like 500, and they can all get like impregnated by other trees, right? So other trees that the pollen hits them tree, and then they can transform, and then they get an apple, because the apple is actually their child. You know what I mean? Because the apple tree has the apple has the embryos, right, and then they release in the ground and become a tree, right? So it's kind of like fun in that sense. So I guess it's kind of how they work, right? They have all this weird gender thing, they can gender and so on. So yeah, to guess that this tree god was a Futanari, it makes perfect sense. And I mean, I've seen it in other anime, manga, and so on too before that. It is not overly uncommon to have like like I said, like a tree that is like, I say a tree, but I mean like a woman that is like a dreid, Trent or whatever, right, in anime or something, and then they also have, a PP or whatever, because like it actually makes sense. And I remember I was writing a fantasy thing a couple years ago. We had this like tree lady in the game, and of course I was like, yeah, shit, penis. I was like, tree, Futanari. But it makes sense, right? Because that's actually what you would expect, right? If you actually have like an intelligent, like a humanoid tree thing, you would, tree gods would be Futanaris. There's actually the logical conclusion of it. I mean it's genuinely because, right? Think about how we take this anime and fantasy, right? And we take a plant, then, right, and make this planting be intelligent, and make the planting have this, powers, and they can breathe, whatever. It acts like a human and so on, right? They would have 2 genders, right? Because trees have 2 genders. So if you take a plant woman, a humanoid kind of, this a Trent or whatever, they should have both genders. That is what makes sense, actually. So if anything, it actually would be more weird if you have 3 people in an anime or whatever, a game, whatever, and they only have 1 gender. That actually doesn't make any sense. They actually should have more than 1 gender, and also have probably more than 1 sexual organ or reproduction, right? Because they actually have like 500. So, but it's fun, man. I think about it, but it makes sense, man. Trees should have 2 genders, in anime as well. That's my guess, it correctly. Anyway, guys, that's some DNA stuff with Myrmonden. Please subscribe to that button. Zelda coming up shortly after this, man.